You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
All right, Reza Rifters, welcome to the show. We got a great guest who's been waiting in the waiting room, so we'll just give her a quick introduction and then get right into it. You've seen her on America's Got Talent, The Larry Sanders Show, and The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, the great Wendy Liebman. Are you ready, Alan Lee?
If you would let the guest into the show and we could get this thing started.
All right. You got any good questions?
Yeah.
All right.
Where does the show start?
We're starting it now. Okay, excellent.
You said she's waiting, and now you're going on about some stuff about when she's coming in. The woman is waiting to come on the fucking show.
Yeah, I was waiting for you. Oh, hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. We're just having an exciting showbiz moment here in the background. How are you?
Pretty good.
Wendy, thank you so much for doing it. We're still trying to figure out Zoom. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Yeah, right. You don't know how to use it. Now you're introducing us as dumb fucks.
Yeah, well, no, I was just trying to make her feel better.
It's a sprint. I mean, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Oh,
it's one of those. You have to run. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So how's your new year going? Are you excited for comedy to get back to open and stuff?
So I kind of like doing it from home.
Oh, really?
Great. We do too.
Yeah. I mean, I do not like traveling, and
Yeah.
I didn't like traveling before.
Yeah. So you like doing the Zoom shows?
I do.
You do. Awesome. I've done one Zoom show and I didn't like it because the host muted me after my 7 minutes.
Like, just cut the mic?
Yeah. So like I'm all like doing this great, brilliant material, and then like everyone in the chat form or whatever, they're like, "We can't hear you." I'm all like, "Oh, you know what I mean? You don't know what I mean?"
You need a breakout room.
Exactly, a breakout room. So, Wendy, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We were supposed to have you a couple years ago in a studio, but then you got in an accident. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, everything good? How you doing?
So, I was hit by a car in 2018. I was just walking on my treadmill. And no, that's a joke. I was just, don't even laugh. I have a hangover.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't have a hangover. I don't drink. Okay, so I was hit by a car in LA.
Yeah.
And both feet and one leg was broken. And do you ever wake up and you don't know where you are?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, like if you're in a hotel or something. I hate hotel unless they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Unless
like the $190 room suite.
Right, like the higher scale that actually has a scale in the bathroom. Not that I want it, but like sometimes they put a. Can I swear on this?
Yeah. You can say whatever you want.
So they put a fucking scale while you're on vacation.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. But I wasn't on vacation. I was performing. But one time I was at this cheaper hotel and the walls were so thin. And at one point, the guy in the next room could spoon me. That's how thin the walls were. I'm just trying to make you laugh.
No,
but well, I forget what the question was.
The question was I brought up a traumatic experience, which I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay. So yes. So, but you can. I mean, do you want me to tell you more?
Yeah, if you want to talk about it, yeah, because I was in a near-death car accident 6 years ago. So,
Is that like, has that informed the rest of your life?
It did, yeah, because now I get like I get sometimes like when I hear cars crash in my bedroom window, I wake up. You know what I mean? Like, So like it like traumatizes me and I can't go to sleep for at least an hour or two.
You mean people crash into your window?
Well, no, because I lit like my window and then there's a street and people get in car accidents all the time on the street.
I see. So you get like PTSD.
Yeah.
Ah,
So what happened with me is I was driving home from a gig from Arizona, and I shouldn't have been doing this, but I wanted to make my gig in California the next day.
that was a
So
good
I
answer.
could have slept, and still make it, but I wanted to get there early, like 10 hours early. And and I was driving, and this is like 4 in the morning, and I just fell asleep when I was driving. And my car flipped over like 6 times, and I'm very lucky that no one else was involved and I didn't hurt anyone. But yeah, my car got destroyed, and my back hurt and stuff, and I almost died.
And so, do you think you died or it was just near death?
Oh, it was definitely near death because I remember once I landed, once the car stopped, I just couldn't move. And I remember I woke up, some other guy was like crashing my window and pulling me out and stuff. So like, it was pretty, it's amazing how much time it stops and then you wake up. You know what I mean?
Time is funky like that, but
Yeah.
yes, isn't it nice to have like good Samaritans? Because I love the guy that helped me. So this woman just hit me with her car. She was turning the corner. She didn't see me. I was so skinny. Um, no, I don't know why she didn't see me. I was in the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And so the guy who was walking towards me, I was like, we had the light, right? And he said yes. And then he like comforted me. And I knew he didn't want to be there. He just wanted to go to the ATM. But he was like waiting. And he got a show though, because they cut my pants off and I don't wear underwear.
Oh,
So and then they cut my boot off and I don't wear socks.
Yeah.
So, but okay, so I wake up, I pass out, and then I wake up and I didn't know where I was. But I knew I wasn't at home, you guys, because I heard a vacuum and somebody was vacuuming. So I knew I wasn't at home. That was a joke. Oh my God.
I got it.
I worked so hard.
no.
Anyway, so I recovered, and then they realized that my foot was on a little bit rotated, like I looked like a ballerina because when they attached the bone, I don't think I've really talked about this.
Oh.
I just heard myself. That's annoying. I mean, I'm annoying.
No, I don't think you're annoying.
Tell that to my therapist. Anyway, they had to re-break my bone and re-rotate my leg. And so I had a lot of time at home before the pandemic. And then I got to perform twice. And then the pandemic hit. So I haven't performed in many years. So the fact that I'm doing your podcast now, it's sort of full circle, is it?
It is, and I'm glad that you're doing it. But like, I wish you were still performing, like before the pandemic hit, because I think you're hysterical.
Well, thank you so much. It's a sprint. It's a marathon.
Yeah,
not a sprint.
Oh, one of the questions I had about is because you did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and I thought it was the funniest set. And usually when Carson likes you, he'll like call you over. And I was just wondering how come that didn't happen to you, because I've seen a lot of Johnny Carsons, and some of the people he calls over, they're terrible. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about that part.
Oh,
The
yeah.
people
Well,
being terrible.
okay.
This-
They're
I-
not my cup of tea. How about that?
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? Coffee is my cup of tea.
Exactly. They're not my type of coffee.
Uh, you know, he's supposed to go. He can go like that, like giving
Yeah.
you the. And he did do that to me, but it wasn't caught on film.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And
Now I feel like an
so-
a-hole.
No, because he didn't call me over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he heard about that I was upset that the audience didn't see that part. And he and Ed McMahon came to my dressing room
Holy Lord.
to say hello.
Oh,
And you know, when you've grown up watching them, it's like you're like a holograph
yeah.
at that point.
yeah, wow.
And I had two comedian friends with me who verified that they said, "You're very funny, you'll have to come back." And my only memory of it, you guys, is that they were both very tall. Johnny Carson and McMahon, both really tall and skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Were you intimidated by that? Like, because they came to your dressing room after you performed, right?
Yes.
Uh,
The whole experience was surreal. So it's all messed up in that.
yeah. See, I would have been like, "Holy Lord, like you guys are here. How come?" I would have been like all awkward and stuff. I would have been like, "Oh,
Well, I think I tap danced.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
awesome." It's amazing how like back then phones didn't have cameras because I would have like totally asked for a picture. You know what I mean? I've been like,
I
"Hey,"
know. I only have this fucking memory.
be like, "Hey, can you guys give us a free cameo?" I don't know.
But I do have two friends who also remember it, so that's nice.
Who were the comic friends that went with you?
A comedian named Ron Lynch.
Oh,
Oh my God,
Ron
Lynch.
Lynch.
I
Alan
didn't
Lee knows
know
Ron Lynch like the back of his hand.
Well, I wouldn't say the back of my hand.
How do you
Maybe
know
the
Ron
front
Lynch?
of my hand.
He did the show. He
What
did this
happened,
podcast.
I asked him to come on the show, and it was my first interview, by myself. And you can listen to it. It's a strange one, but and you see, I'm a big fan of his show, that late show. He does like at midnight on
The
Saturday.
Tomorrow Show.
Show, and I would always go to those and grab one of those beers he hands out. And it's quite an interesting show. Have you ever exposed?
Yeah.
I don't mean to use the word exposed, but it does apply. If
I've done it once.
oh my God, you performed it, yeah. And so then he booked me, and I was able to be on the show. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, Ron is the reason I do stand up,
Oh my.
because I was living in Boston. Not to bore you, I'm just gonna
No.
just go.
No.
I'm gonna
No, I wanna
just
hear this.
skip
I know.
steps. But I was doing psych research, and I was gonna be a therapist. 'Cause
Oh,
I was like always the RA, and
so
and
you
then I
wanted to
was-
tell people they're annoying, basically.
That was a good callback. High five. No, I'm a good listener,
Right.
I guess. Now I just talk all the time. But no, so I was doing psych research, and I was living in an apartment, but it was like a duplex. This is in Boston. And I took the mail in from the wrong apartment. I took the mail in from the apartment downstairs. And there was a course catalog from the Cambridge Center for Adult Education in Boston. And I eventually gave it back, but in it was an acting class, and I'd always been theatrical growing up. I was Eliza in My Fair Lady and Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and I was in Death of a Salesman. I was prostitute number 2. I was
And that was the best
number 2.
prostitute in that whole play.
He reads a lot of plays. He reads plays every day.
Really?
Oh yeah. Sure. Like
Especially if they're about prostitutes.
And please let the lady speak and finish her story about Ron Lynch.
Oh my God! I swear I'm a good listener. So so I took the acting class.
Yes.
And the teacher quit like during the break. Like he didn't want to be there. So they said, instead of giving your money back, we're just gonna ask you to take another class. So I'm like reading the catalog more, and I see How to Be a Stand-Up Comedian. Wow. And it was like I heard angels and like that. Like,
yeah. Sure.
How to Be a Stand-Up Comedian, like, and I remember always trying to get laughs. Wait, I just want to get a picture to show you. I was always trying to get laughs, and this was the first time I remember trying. It was after Thanksgiving, and you didn't know I was going to do show and tell.
We love show and tell.
You kidding?
That was my favorite subject in school.
I was Rumpelstiltskin. This is not the funny one, but I was Rumpelstiltskin. I didn't get to be the princess. My sister was the princess, and that was Emily. She was, I don't know who she was. The princess's dad. I guess that would make her a king. I don't know. This is me trying to be funny.
Oh.
And it was after Thanksgiving, and I remember putting one sock lower, thinking that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I was always really funny, and yet in college I got serious and chain smoked and wrote papers on philosophy.
And you were a psych major?
Yeah, but I wrote papers on philosophy.
What did you chain smoke? Marbles or Virginia Slims?
I think I chain smoked anything that would light.
Oh, excellent.
Merits, Cools, the ones with the holes in the middle, but you're too young to remember those. They got rid of those before you were born.
Yeah.
I think they were called Vantage, maybe. I don't know. Somebody in your audience will know. So How to Be a Stand-Up Comedian. So I was always funny, but I didn't really think of myself as a comedian. I was serious now, it was after I was 22, 23. But I took this class, How to Be a Stand-Up Comedian, and the teacher was Ron Lynch.
Oh my God.
Ron Lynch. Wow.
And not that I think you can teach anybody anything really. All you can do is focus somebody's attention in a direction.
Yeah.
And give them information, right? So we basically got together and drank beer.
That's awesome.
Well, that's one way to get funny.
Is drinking beer with Ron Lynch.
And at Handel's in Cambridge, Harvard Square. So cut to, I was then on The Tonight Show in 1991, May 10th. And Ron was there.
Oh, that's awesome. So like he was like your mentor.
He was my mentor. He was my mother.
Yeah.
He was like my mother, like, because he was a little bit older and he really took care of me. And I was young and he was so funny. He was in a comedy team.
Yeah. I was actually really looking forward to interviewing him. But the day of the interview, the Brea Improv called me and they said, hey, we have a headliner who's sick. Can you come in and fill it out? And I was like, oh, well, I'll go do that. And Alan Lee could just interview Ron Lynch by himself.
It was my biggest break. Huge break.
And then you got to do his show, the Tomorrow Show. You know, now that I am my age, I, even though I stay up till 2 a.m. because that's my circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Doing a show at midnight, it's like, really?
Yeah.
I'm too old for
Uh,
that.
Now, you said you started when you were 22. I think that is a perfect age to start stand-up comedy because I started when I was 15, and for 6 years, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because I had no life experience.
Before I respond to that, Your Honor,
Oh,
I want to say the name of the other person that I was with because, like, one person listening might remember.
oh, okay.
A comic named James Leamer.
James Leamer.
From Boston. Yeah, that was his stage name.
Okay. He's a
So-
stage comic.
Yeah, and he was really, really funny.
Was he as funny as you, though?
He's pretty fucking funny. Yeah,
Oh. All right.
yeah. He's like Stephen Wright.
Oh.
Oh, Stephen Wright. That's another name we almost had on the podcast, but I got a call from the Improv and I had to bail on it. That was a bad joke.
You're trying
Wait, are you really getting Stephen Wright on your podcast?
No, I wish. I did ask and they said no. So I was like, oh, all right, well, whatever. You could always try again. Like, I'm a person who doesn't believe in no. So I just keep asking until it's a yes.
I love that about you.
Yeah. So that's why I finally got you here after asking for 2 years. Little did I know you were sick from the accident and trying to get better for 2 years. My bad, but yeah.
Who were you asking?
Colette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love Colette.
I love Colette. She's my favorite publicist who says yes.
She's just the greatest.
Yeah.
I wish she lived in LA.
Oh, I didn't know she didn't live in LA. I just like text her and stuff. So
I think she lives back east.
Oh, awesome.
I know her from Boston.
Oh. Yeah, Colette's awesome. She's very supportive and she's a sweetheart. And like people listening, like people like a lot of like I get a lot of no's, you know what I mean? And like a lot of hang-ups. And Colette doesn't do that. So
you get hang-ups?
Yeah, like, oh, don't bother me, like stuff like that.
Well, now I have to ask who you're calling.
Oh, I've called Joe Pesci. I've called, like, we're talking about the hang-ups, right?
I just like your chutzpah because you know what? You're so right. It's like if they don't want to do it, they won't do it.
Exactly. It's like, so, is that a dog?
I have a dog in the background.
Oh,
but
awesome.
The door is shut. I can't believe you heard that. The door is shut, though.
Oh, I have Asperger's. I have very, very good hearing.
Oh, okay. Oh, to both of those things.
Yeah.
Asperger's and really good hearing. I want to show you one of the dogs. What? That's your superpower?
Yeah.
This is that really cute dog after she ripped up her bed.
Oh my Lord.
But she's really, really cute.
It looked like she ripped up a piano, like one of those things you hit with a candy.
A pinata?
Yeah, a pinata. Yeah.
There they are. They're so cute. That's Jackson and Gemma. And they're called Jindos. I mean, that's what they are. They're Jindos, which is a Korean dog.
So you bought them in Korea?
We bought them here.
Okay.
But they were shipped over. That's them now.
Oh.
They They were shipped over.
Wow.
Don't let them fool you, though. They are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I love them. But like, are there dogs who have Asperger's?
I'm sure all dogs have Asperger's. Like I have a dog right now.
There are.
His name's Boomer, and I think he's more socially awkward than me. Like he sees people, he just runs into his cave and stuff, and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? You're here to help me out. You know what I mean? But
Is Boomer an emotional support pet?
that's what I got him for, yeah. But he hasn't passed any of the tests, so it doesn't look like that dream's coming true.
I have an emotional support bag of Chex Mix.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. That was going to be my second thing.
Oh. Okay.
What's your favorite mix in the Chex Mix? Do you like the pretzel or do you like the what's that?
Oh my God.
That's a hard question.
I like it all. My mother used to make it with like garlic butter.
Oh.
And it was
boy.
so good. Like that's her best meal.
Oh.
Chex Mix. No, my mom is a really good cook, which is why I don't cook. I think.
Yeah.
But I did learn this pandemic. I have been like really eating healthfully. I have to say, when I eat I feel when I eat healthier, I feel so much hungrier.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah.
You know what, the keto diet, I'm hungry as a devil. You know
Oh,
that-
I did keto, but I never was hungry on keto.
Yeah, it depends. I did have an attack where I just went crazy. I just every carb, and I said it's not going to happen to me. I'm doing great, and I just had a little pastry, and from then on, it was awful. It was like a binge. I lost my mind.
They say that happens.
It was weird. It was like like heroin or something. Not that I do heroin,
Right.
but I couldn't believe.
How long did you do it, and did you lose
2
weight?
days.
How long have you been doing heroin, Alan?
No. When I went off with the donuts, I didn't. No, the keto was like for like 6 weeks.
And did you lose
Look
weight?
at you! Look at you! I've told you to get on that diet. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Did
my
you
dear?
lose weight?
Yes, 20 pounds. Thank you very much.
In 2 weeks.
No. In 6 weeks.
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Close to more like 7.
That's actually pretty good though, right? Like, that's a healthy weight flow.
It's not a bad deal.
I did it for a while, and I lost like 25 pounds, which I needed to lose because I'm so short. Like I have 2 sets of clothing. I have like a little black dress with spaghetti straps, and then I have a bigger black dress with lasagna straps. I'm just trying to make you laugh.
No, I was trying to think. I feel that I follow fashion, and I was trying to say lasagna strap. I was trying to say, no, I swear to God, I thought I missed something. That's great, lasagna straps. I thought that's something in vogue.
I bet they could do those. But anyway, so I did lose some weight on keto, but now I've been eating healthier, and I learned how to cook this pandemic. Like my best meal, or today I made eggs with shells.
Oh.
They had shells in them.
So like you crack the egg and then you break the shell into the egg.
Oh, that's a joke.
Yeah. I got it.
Thank you.
I was
Maybe
trying
you could punch that joke for me.
Today I had eggs with shells.
Yeah, I was trying to explain the joke to Alan Lee, Wendy. I was like, I was being your sidekick there.
Eggs with shells. I love it.
I'm a terrible cook. Like the one time I cooked a big meal for my family, and the next day my grandma died. So my family said, "You're not cooking anymore."
Did your grandmother really die, or was that a joke?
That was a joke.
Okay.
I was trying to make you laugh.
You
I
did.
believe that your grandmother did.
I
that.
know. That's what I thought. That was my best outfit ever. I thought
Oh
I
my
was
God, that's so
stylish. I just happened to have all these pictures here because I was giving a talk and I was showing my roots.
Wendy, have you ever done a TED Talk?
Oh.
I did a TEDx talk.
Oh, how was that?
I loved it. I loved it. I was saying how we're all connected and that comedy is good because we breathe together. We start because like every movie I've ever seen, I sort of remember it if if it changed the way I breathe. Like if I laugh or if I'm scared or if there's like a chase scene.
Yeah.
Like that's what I remember.
Oh wow.
And
Interesting.
like the way that my breath has changed. And so that's what I was talking about, how watching live stand up is like you're all in the same wavelength and you feel connected. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you ever give a TED talk?
No, I don't know Ted's number, but I was thinking I would be perfect for it because, you know, I could talk about, hey, this is what it's like having Asperger's and, you know, me and your heroes on Zoom and making them feel awkward and stuff.
I'll get right on the phone.
Please do. I got to see this.
Where are you, by the way? Where are you both?
Alan's in LA, right, Alan Lee?
Oh yes, yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm kind of near the airport, kind of like in Inglewood, and so Inglewood, it's a great city. You just if you like bullets.
Oh.
I should say that it's a wonderful neighborhood.
And I'm outside of Earth.
Are you one of those flat earthers?
Yeah. I changed my Zoom background so I can make a joke about that. But I'm actually in Huntington Beach right now.
Oh, so you're both in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are.
But
nobody would do this at LA Radio in Sherman Oaks.
But then this thing called the pandemic happened, and
oh my God,
it like destroyed my comedy and destroyed interviews. Because you know how like you go to a studio, you do an interview, and you're like, oh, that's fun. You get a picture, you know what I mean?
Now you have to take a screenshot.
Yeah, and then we have to like photo it all together, like we've actually met in this.
She's right about that.
But the reason that I like this setup more than going out there is because afterwards I could just walk to the kitchen.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Exactly.
Of course. And I feel connected, which is what comedy does for me.
Yeah.
And yet, then I can just shut my computer.
Well, I had a couple questions about your career real fast. I knew you could shut the computer.
What?
That was a bad joke. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was wondering, what was it like being on the Larry Sanders Show? Because that was my favorite show growing up.
So a friend of mine was a stand-in for Gary Shandling, meaning he's the guy that they mark the set with, like when they're planning the shots.
Mm-hmm.
So Larry doesn't have to be there, or Gary doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
So I went to the set, and I guess Gary knew of my stand-up, and he said, "Do you want to be on the show?" And so, yeah. So my part was I was on his fake talk show, Larry Sanders, and I was doing stand-up, and I was talking about being married, and Hank was in a hotel room with a prostitute. God, it's all full circle. Hotel room, prostitute.
Did you teach her any lines from Death of Salesman?
Did he? No, so the concept was that he'd be watching me talk about marriage and he'd feel guilty because he was cheating on his wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And so a lot of my early career feels surreal to me
Yeah. Wow.
because when you bring that up, I like, not that I forgot about it, but just I was so lucky. I was so lucky. I was like in the right place.
Yeah. And then Howard Stern called you back on America's Got Talent. Like, how was that? Like,
Pretty
to
cool.
get called back by Howard Stern?
So I did America's Got Talent. And then I got kicked off, but then Howard Stern had his wild card pick and he brought me back. So here's the truth about it. I never met him.
What?
I only met him from the stage. And I originally did the show because I thought, well, for many reasons, but one of them was they picked me. No, one of them was I wanted to meet Howard Stern.
Yeah.
I wanted my husband to meet Howard Stern. I thought they would get along.
Yeah.
And so in the end, I never met him, but because of him, I got to stay on the show a little bit longer. And I love him. I think he's really hilarious and a genius. He's a genius.
Yeah. He is. Did you go back to LA when they called you to go back?
Did I go back to LA? Well, I live in LA.
Oh, okay. I thought they filmed it in New York, didn't they?
They filmed it in New York.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
So was I home already? Yeah, I went back to New York.
Oh. So did Howard Stern buy that ticket for you?
Well, America's Got Talent did.
Oh, nice. That's always sweet.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, you shouldn't have like your parents meet their heroes. Like, it's pretty traumatizing experience, you know? Like, I opened up for Tom Arnold once, and Tom Arnold was like my hero when I was just starting. And my dad is like the biggest Tom Arnold fan. So I took my dad to go see the show, you know? And he's talking to Tom, and Tom's like all being nice to him. He's like, oh yeah, I love Keith. I'm going to use him all the time. Keith's my man. He's my boy. Don't worry. We're going to get to, you know how Tom's like all crazy like that, you know, how he talks and stuff. My dad's like, oh my God. And then I was like, so Tom, when are we going to work together again? He's like, I was just saying that to get your dad off my back. And I was like, oh, okay. So then like every single year when my dad calls, I was like, what's it like? How's Tom? I was like, yeah, he's okay. And yeah. So that was the point, because like, you know, my dad thinks that's whatever.
Where's your dad?
He's in Texas.
Is that where you grew up?
No, that's where he's at. I grew up in California. Mom and dad got this thing called a divorce when I was a kid. So, yeah. You know what a divorce is? No? Okay. Alan, you got any questions?
Well, it's funny because on the Larry Sanders Show, I said that I had a divorce. I had just gotten, that was another time, but my joke was that, and there was a baby involved, him.
Yeah.
That was the joke. But I was never married when I wrote that joke. So I got married late. I got married like in my 40s.
Yeah. One of my favorite jokes of yours is when you're saying, my parents are still having sex because they want grandkids. I think that's
Keith, now I say that about my husband and me. I say we still have sex because we have grandkids. But I do have a grandkid.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'll find a picture.
Oh.
A step grandkid, because I don't have any kids.
Oh.
I didn't want to lose my virginity. So I'm just trying to make you laugh. I don't want to show you the wrong pictures.
Oh.
Oh, this is This is so cute. This is my husband and the baby.
Oh,
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Aww.
That's so cute. My God.
And yeah. And so I've never changed a diaper.
well, that's pretty cool.
That's me and the baby,
Oh,
and the grandma.
is it a boy or a girl?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, it's a little girl.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know what she does for a living yet, but here is wait, this is the dog being very interested in her. This is wait. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't sign up for this. This is the dog being very interested in her.
Oh.
Oh, that's cute because the dogs sniff people's butts.
Butts.
Yeah.
I know. Why?
I don't know, but I saw this movie called Dr. Doolittle with Eddie Murphy, and
Yeah.
they asked the dog that, and the dog said, "Oh, it's like how we shake hands." That's what the dog in Dr. Doolittle said.
I don't remember that in the books. They never did that in the Dr. Dolittle books. Did they do it in the movie? Or is it, oh, that was a joke?
No, it wasn't.
No,
a joke.
that wasn't a joke.
But I honestly don't remember. I was a Dr. Dolittle fan as a kid, and I read the 300-page books, and they never, ever said that the dogs did that in the books.
Oh,
They would have gone to detention. They would have gone to the library and said, you know, did you read the Dr. Dolittle as a, being a
I think
psychologist?
so.
Yeah.
Being a psychologist.
I mean, no, I mean,
I read Dr. Seuss. I read Dr. Zhivago.
Joke. That was a joke. Wendy.
I know. I read McDreamy. I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the doctors that I know. Dr.
Oh no, Spock.
Spock. Doc Martens.
Oh, Doc Martens, my favorite doctor.
Dr. Dre.
oh,
Hey,
Dr. Dre.
that's a rehab guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's Dr. Drew.
My bad.
Dr.
Oh no, Dr. Dre, some athlete. I'm not in this.
No, you're joking. You're joking.
I don't know what the fuck.
You're
I don't know what
joking.
that is a joke.
Dr.
You know what that reminds me of? Like my father gets this newsletter, and I guess because they're in their 80s, some of the words are misspelled, like
Yes.
there are typos. So now they actually say at the beginning, find the 5 typos in this. So that's what you're doing. You're saying it's just a joke. It wasn't a joke.
I
It
know.
wasn't.
I know. I lied. I don't know who the hell Dr. Dre is. I know it has something to do.
He's a rapper, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes, thank you. I'm
he's
not
the
a
guy
fan-
who made it popular about fucking bitches and hoes.
Well, see, I'm not a fan of that type of lyric.
No, but I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's the rapping.
You listen to that night and day, probably.
Yeah. He gave Ice Cube his start.
I know who Ice Cube is.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking him up now?
That was a joke.
Is he looking him up now?
That's
I don't
a
know. He
joke.
does have 2 glasses on.
Well, you know what? I don't.
No, I meant you, Keith.
No, I just have Asperger's, so I know this stuff. I'm smart. Wendy, I wanted a very serious question for you because you've been on every talk show doing stand up. Like what's advice for other comics? Because each talk show has a different formula. Like what's your best advice for comics who want to do that? Who want to get on more, like me, for example. I want to get on a thing.
Well, I probably haven't been on a talk show since 2005.
That's
So,
still pretty good.
15 years.
Yeah.
Although I was on
I thought you were on Jimmy Fallon.
At Midnight. I was on Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah.
but it was when he had the Late Show.
That's still a talk show, though. That's still
Yeah.
yeah.
So just get a really good 5 minutes together.
Oh, okay.
And are you talking about like practice, like actually getting on the show?
No, just like how, like, what are some tips for, like, if you're on the show, how do you succeed without like zipping up and like not, you know what I mean? Like, did you ever see Punchline with Tom Hanks where he like,
Yeah.
Punchline with Tom Hanks?
yeah, you know that scene where he's about to do comedy in front of like all Levity and Gersh and stuff, and then he sees his parents in the audience and he can't even do it. He's like, oh my God. So like all his jokes, and he freaks out. And then Sally Fields got the job. You don't remember that?
Right, I do remember that, and they had lockers in
Yeah.
the basement. What advice? Oh, so Stephen Wright gave me advice when I was doing the Tonight Show the first time. He said, just play to that audience.
Oh.
Don't think about everybody else watching at home.
That's excellent advice.
I know.
Yeah.
It is. I've never heard that from anyone.
Thank you, Stephen Wright.
Yeah. So I'll be sure not to ask him for advice when he does Raise a Riff. So I'll be like, hey, I already got your advice from Wendy. That's a bad joke.
Isn't that a joke? Tell her that's a joke.
It is a joke. I think Wendy got it, man. All right. So Wendy, what are your plans for the new year? Are you like are you going to get vaccinated and start your comedy room again and start kicking ass again, or are you enjoying the grandparent transaction?
I'm definitely getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
Are you going to wait a bit and see who? If it's I'm a coward. I'm going to wait till at least 30 million people take it first.
I'm gonna get it as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Because I have only left my house 10 times since March.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but my granddaughter came here.
Yeah.
What are my plans? I'm getting vaccinated, and then I do not know. I will honestly think about starting locally grown comedy again.
Yeah.
The Feinstein Room in Studio City at Batello's Restaurant. And it's an amazing show. I've had everybody from George Lopez to Nikki Glazer, Tig Notaro, Arsenio Hall, Joe Coy.
Wendy Liebman.
Well, I host it.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll have you guys on if I start it again.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And it's once a month. And it's called Locally Grown Comedy, because I walked in there after I did America's Got Talent and I said, do you guys want to do a comedy show here? And they had just gotten some sound ordinance, so they couldn't do music right then. So it was, again, about timing.
Yeah. Last question, sorry, but would you say like running a room has helped you like as a comic? Because I've run a couple rooms and I feel like that's probably the advice I would give other comics, is to start your own room and practice.
Absolutely. I like anybody who asks me for advice, who's starting out, I go, perform as much as humanly possible. And if you can't find a place to perform, start it yourself. So yes, it also made me aware of like who I would book, because some people are not as reliable as others, and you can't count on them as much. So, I mean, that means something. It's a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you could always count on Keith Reza, because like I don't know if I told you, but I blew an interview with Ron Lynch to do the improv. So
and it was my windfall. I'm so grateful still.
That's awesome. So yes, perform as much as you can. But in the meantime, I'm writing a musical about stand-up comedians. And about 3 stand-up comedians in Vegas over Valentine's Day. Right after Trump was elected.
What a great premise.
And I wrote some of the music myself, and my husband is going to write the rest.
Oh, Lord. Is
And,
one of these comedians Mitch Hedberg?
no, why?
Oh, no, I just thought it would be funny to bring him back for a musical.
I think he's mentioned in like the song about comedians that helped, that
Yeah.
we appreciate. There's a whole song about that, but
Yeah.
he's great. I got to work with him in New York City once.
Yeah. He was one of my heroes, So right when I started was the year he died, so I never got a chance to meet him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, eat rice if you want to eat 1,000 of something. That's one of his jokes, something like that.
I like the one where he's like, I only think a Doug likes me whether or not if I have bread. So, Wendy, where can the folks at home follow you and support you?
Well, thank you so much. I'm on Twitter and I at Wendy Liebman, and I am on Instagram, and I have my own website, and yeah.
Your stand-up special they could buy on your website, right?
Yes, it's called Taller on TV, because that's what everybody says to me when they meet me. Like, how tall do you think I am? Or did I already tell you?
Well, you have said you're short, and like I'm a professional interviewer, so I did a little research. You know what I mean? So I kind of knew that you were on the short side.
Do you know more about me than I know about me, Keith?
I don't know if everything on Google is accurate. I would say yes.
Everything on Wikipedia and
Wikipedia.
Well, they say I'm married to the wrong Jeff Sherman. They have me married to some other guy.
You mean the musician?
The musician. My husband is a musician, but that's not him.
No, but see, I have a theory about that. I have a feeling you said that somewhere down the line, so people could say that, and then you could be like, I was just kidding. You know what I mean?
Like you do.
Nope.
I learned that because I do that. Like I'll say something and just be like, oh, I learned that actually from Norm. Norm would be, because like I was on the road for him for like 6-7 years. And whenever we do podcasts or interviews and stuff, he would say something and I would know it's not true. And then they would post it. He's like, I never said that. You know what I mean? But like, I think it's funny when you find stuff that's totally not true. Like I found out on Google, and I know for a fact this is true, but I found out on Google, your favorite soda is Diet Cherry Wild Pepsi.
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't like anything that's too wild.
Exactly. Well, Wendy,
I was just going to tell you, I once babysat when I first moved out to LA. Norm Macdonald and his wife were going to Vegas, and I babysat for their dog.
That was a long time ago, huh?
And went through his medicine cabinet.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, you and me both. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for doing this, and
thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Yeah, and when this is over, we'll do it in the studio, and we'll really make it awkward and stuff.
I look forward to that. And be safe, you guys, and wear a mask. And it's not a joke. And get a vaccine.
Too, Wendy.
I will. Okay.
Bye, Wendy.
Don't buy too much on Amazon.
Especially since that guy just quit, right? Bye, Wendy.
Bye. Thank you so much,
Wendy.
guys.
Thank you.
Of course.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. All right. That was Wendy Liebman.
She is funny.
Yeah, that was awesome. Subscribe, rate, and review to the show. Alan Lee, the time has come, buddy, for your big announcement. Did you want to tell the folks?
Yeah, I'm going to be running a room once the COVID is over, and I'm not sure if it's going to be downtown, in the Valley, or right on Sunset. And I don't want to say it's going to be the bar there called the Sycamore Bar, because I kind of Well, it might be. So I've got 3 venues, and we'll see. And I will book you.
Oh, thanks, Pally.
Don't get angry and stuff.
All right, buddy. Well, subscribe, rate, review to the show. Alan, we'll see you guys next week. And it was fun, buddy.
You got it.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.